Yo, what's cracking everyone? Eric Ship 111 here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the fastest drag tune in Forza Horizon 4. Now this tune will work on the Juggernaut, specifically on this Rivals event where the actual event restriction is X-Class, because that's what we'll be upgrading our car to, and also the season for this Rivals event is set to autumn as well, but you can certainly use this tune for any other custom blueprints, and as you can see on the leaderboard, I'm currently ranked number 3 in the world at the time of this recording. The two guys above me, I know one of the PTNE club guys are a specific drag build club and normally don't really share their tunes to the public, or at least show you guys how it's done, but today I'll be showing everything from upgrading to the actual tune and then also bringing it out into the event itself. Also, if you guys aren't part of a car club yet in Forza Horizon 4, well, come join our club. It's called Eric Ship 111 and Stark3Wine with a club tag of S111. We don't have that many members on here, but we hope this will be a great place for everyone to meet new racers or share photos, and also in the future race against or with both Starky and myself as well. So hopefully in the future we'll get to meet some of you guys if you guys do join our club. So nonetheless, let's get right into the build. So the first thing you're going to have to do is purchase the McLaren F1 GT. Now, I know it's quite expensive at 5.2 million credits, and some of you may think, well, geez, Eric, this is probably not worth it, you scrub. But however, in my opinion, this is not only just a great car for the Juggernaut, it's also a fantastic track car as well. So if you do have the money, go ahead and purchase it. But if you are a cheap scrounge like myself, you can actually go into the auction house, which is what I did, and searched for some bargains. Here you will not only find the buyout prices to be cheaper, but you can also test your luck with some bids. I believed I bought my McLaren F1 GT for about 1.3 million credits, which is an absolute steal. So once you have bought the McLaren F1 GT, it's time to put on the upgrades. So the first thing we're going to do is go over to the conversion and do an all-wheel drive drivetrain swap. This will give the car better traction from launch, and then add on the twin turbos for extra power. So now we move over to the engine section of the upgrade. Here what you want to do is pretty simple, and that is to max out everything to its race part. Simply because this will help you achieve its maximum amount of horsepower at 1439 brake horsepower, which is certainly a lot of ponies to play with. Then what you want to do is move over to the platform and handling. Now, although we won't be using the brakes, upgrade them to the best because they do reduce the overall weight of the car. Then install race suspensions. Skip the roll cage because it does add weight to the car, and I know for some cars, particularly older cars, a roll cage is better, but for a good chassis like the F1 GT and an all-wheel drive drivetrain, the roll cage is just simply going to add weight and slow down acceleration. And then of course, lastly, with the rate reduction, we want to fully reduce the weight of the car. Now we move over to the drivetrain. Make sure you max out all of the parts here so we can tune all the gear ratios and differential, which is one of the most vital parts of this drag build. And then lastly, the tires and rims. With the tire compound, you want to put the drag tire compound. This is because they are the grippiest for straight line racing, and even though the Juggernaut does have some slight turns, the tires along with the great handling of the F1 GT, it's not going to be a problem. That car with those tires will be able to handle those slight corners. And then of course, with both the front and rear tire width, make sure you upgrade them to the absolute widest. So that's pretty much it. The rims of the car are already the lightest than any other aftermarket ones, and also any aero on the car will transform this car back into a turtle. So make sure you don't put any aero on it and keep the outside stock. So now we get onto the juicy bit, which is the tuning. By the way, if you guys can't be bothered tuning this, I'll show you how you can just download my tune at the end of this video, so stay tuned. Alright, So now we're here at the tuning menu under the performance area. Ignore the 0 to 60 and 0 to 100 miles per hour times. They aren't theoretically the fastest, but for the Juggernaut, the numbers are simply unhelpful. All you need to know is just the top speed. Okay, so the first thing is the tire pressure. Set them both all the way down to 15 psi. The reason is since the Juggernaut race is set in autumn, the road itself is actually slightly wet. So decreasing the tire pressure will actually create more contact on the road surface, thus giving more traction for acceleration. Now we move over to the gearing, which is the meat of the tune. So as you can see, we are only going to be using 4 gears because this will give us the best combination of acceleration and speed while eliminating as much shifting time as possible. So starting with my final drive, it has been widened for speed at 2.56 with a very long first gear of 2.07. This will help us get off the line fast and to a decent speed without having to shift too soon or too late, and then the rest of the gears are pretty evenly spread out with the 4th gear being set at 0.88. This will allow us to hit the top speed of our car by just kissing the red line. The alignment, I believe this has been untouched, but feel free to pause at any time so you can copy my exact settings. Same with the anti-roll bars, these have not been touched at all. Now for the springs, I made them as soft as possible with the ride height of 3 inches. This will give the car good weight transfer at launch, almost catapulting it up into the air without grounding the car. As we move over to the damping, I did play around with the settings here. I didn't find too much of a difference from the stock setting than my softened settings, as you can see on the screen right now, but it could have potentially helped slightly in the handling department, as once again, the Juggernaut isn't a straight piece of road. Then we're going to be skipping over brakes and aero because, you know, we don't need to deal with any of that stuff. And then lastly, the differential, another meat of this puzzle. Because this is an all-wheel drive car, you want as much power as possible at launch, so lock the diff at 100% for both front and the rear for acceleration. So you may think, well, I will get some wheel spin off the line, but here's the extra key to the puzzle. Set the balance of the diff to exactly, and I mean exactly 65%. I have experimented with so many different settings with the balance and then the gear ratios. This entire combination will allow you to give the best launch at full throttle before you even start, and then when you set off, there will be no wheel spin at all, even with the road being wet. Alright, it's all tuned up now. Let's bring this car into the Rivals event and see just how fast I can go against a guy who's part of a drag exclusive car club. Let's go. Alright, so I'm just going through the difficulty. This is what I'm using: ABS off, normal steering, traction control off, stability off, just normal manual. I do put the braking line on because there are some points where it's helpful to know when you need to turn with the Juggernaut because you're going at such fast speeds. Okay, so here we go, our first run. The Ghost that I'm using is the number 2 in the world, and as you can see, I don't know how he launches so fast. I've tried so many different combinations of gear ratios, I just simply can't do it. So I'm trying to make up for my time by driving as stable as possible, not steering my steering wheel as much, zigzagging around, using the least steering as possible. And as you can see here, the cornering is very important, and then right there I messed it up. I messed it up big time. I was gonna smash into a wall, but let's go for a second time. Alright, here we go. Attempt number 2. Now, remember, because this isn't straight, it's very important to take the lines properly. So, the key in the beginning, I went full throttle, and then there wasn't any wheel spin at all. And then the key to shifting is just to kiss the red line and then shift. You don't want to bounce off the red line and then shift because that will take away time, and then that won't be the optimum time for shifting. So right now I'm following the Ghost very closely, and then this corner right here, you just want to slightly move the steering to the right, and then here slightly to the left, kissing basically both of the apexes and then coming out as wide as possible. therefore maintaining speed. And then there we go. I hit 39.5 seconds, which isn't too bad, but I know I can go a little bit faster. So let's go for another attempt, see if I can actually get the time that I have set on the leaderboard. Alright, here we go. Yet another attempt for this Juggernaut. And then right off the line, you see absolutely no wheel spin at all. Shifting nice and easy. And then right now, it's very important, guys, that you have to take the right line. Be smooth with the Juggernaut. Don't be swaying around too much, because every time you sway around, a little bit extra time gets added on to your lap. So, right now, I'm trying to be very smooth with this. Is the toughest corner of this Juggernaut, and then the follow-up here is also just as difficult. And then here, you pretty much let go of the steering wheel, try to maintain 273 miles per hour. And there we go. 39.473. I know it's not the fastest, but it is the third fastest in the world right now. And feel free to tamper with the tune, change some of the gear ratios or whatever to make it faster than what it already is. But if you cannot be bothered with any of that and you just want to download the tune and apply it to your McLaren F1, all you have to do is, under the tuning section, press your back button and then type in Creator, Eric Ship, and it'll be this tune right here called the Juggernaut Top 3. And then all you have to do is download and save it, or download it and install it. And also, make sure to check out my Creative Hub and also follow me as well. There will be many more tunes added to my Creative Hub for different drag cars, because I'm primarily a drag tuner. I know I don't normally put much of that onto my channel. My channel is more about entertaining you guys on car racing games, but I do have a lot more tunes ready to share for you guys. So make sure to not only download and install the F1 GT's Juggernaut tune, but also to follow me on the Creative Hub. Anyways, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button. That would really help me out. And also, if you guys would like to see more videos on Forza Horizon 4 done by me, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.